Everybody ever microwave their food on the floor? This idea came about Thursday because we were at Habitat for Humanity looking for bathroom vanity lights. First, I looked at the tile, got easily swept away because we found some green tile. As we know, this household loves green. And they were selling a box of like 120 tiles for $10. And this includes all of the corner rounds. We ordered a heat gun because we're like, oh, how hard could it be? Watch 1 2-minute YouTube video and was like, yeah, we can do it. So we ended up taking off the granite, the quarter high pieces. One day later, we're already getting started with tiling again. Just when we had packed away all of our tile stuff, it's back out again. What can I say though? I love tile. Tile, I feel like, adds so much pizzazz to a space. It's definitely not an essential by any means, but I really think it brightens my day a lot. Like, it's one of those things where when you walk by it, you immediately have dopamine and you just feel so happy. Bye-bye. This thing is freaking heavy. We can make a charcuterie board out of this.
Yeah.
So we're currently in my restroom and I thought it would be a fun activity to do, me and you together, to get ready, as in put in all my jewelry. That's my definition of getting ready, because I'm not really a makeup, or I don't really do my hair very often. And I'm so excited, as always, to be partnering with Linjer on this video. I already have my 14K gold necklace on. This is called the Fae. This is a workhorse in my collection. I don't think I ever take this off actually, and I kid you not, the day that I got this piece, it still looks the same as months later, which I think I've worn this probably for around 6 months now. And so I pair the Fae with my July gemstone. It just feels a little bit more personal as opposed to just the chain alone. This is another piece that is solid gold, which, as you know, I love because I never like taking my jewelry off. And then the baguettes are white topaz. So let's see, where do I have a lot of real estate to choose from. This is for sure going to be the first position, because it is first position as in the first hole, because it is the biggest, dangliest earring. And then maybe we can do this second, the Sicel hoops second, and then my baguette hoops third. So let's try that. The baguette hoops, the beauty with jewelry that's this dainty and small is that it feels like a second skin. And another good thing with these type of clasp earrings, or what I like about this one specifically, is I feel like sometimes with these clasp earrings, the clasp is not strong enough. So if I'm like pulling my hair back too fast, or maybe a piece of clothing gets snagged on it, I notice that sometimes my other earrings, it'll just pop right off, which is devastating if you like don't realize that it popped off until like Popped off, not in a good way, but like in a bad way. You don't realize that it popped off until like hours later, and it's far gone. Your jewelry's gone. But not a problem with these piercing, this hoop, because I feel like the clasp is really on there. Let's continue with rings. So this baguette ring, the bottom one, it matches my hoops on my earrings, and then the top braided one, I like that texture. I feel like texturally that's really cool, so let's do that. Would it be crazy if I did a 3? Actually, that's pretty cool. Oh, I like that too. Okay, let's do that. I like how that looks. So just to run it through again, this is the Faye 14K gold chain on the July gemstone. So huge fan of Linjer. They're a female-owned company. They really have sustainability at their forefront of what they do in terms of how they source their materials. And at the end of the day, they are a company that is very reliable, which I think is very important for my decision making when it comes to jewelry, because jewelry is something, again, like I wear every day, so I want them to be my workhorse. I don't want to have to think twice about it. I don't want to have to worry about jewelry falling off of me, or jewelry having flaws, or jewelry just looking terrible by the second wear. That I've never run into that problem with Linjer. So quickly, let's just do a rapid fire. The jewelry pieces that I would recommend for anybody, I think any person that receives this will be happy with it, is Faye, my girl Faye. I love this chain. Just look at how she glistens. Gorgeous. I love Faye. I don't take Faye off. And any of the pearl drop earrings, classic. And then for somebody that maybe has a little bit more subdued taste, a little less flashy maybe, I would go with anything from the baguette line. The baguette is the first ring that I have on my stack, and then on my third lobe, because it's classic, doesn't interfere with my life, and very beautiful. Everybody, decided to vlog about a typical Saturday for us. So what I'm doing right now is shipping my items that I sold overnight, which is always the first thing I do every morning. So these pods we cut to create these ones, and this one. We similarly did this with the tomato plant back there with those pods. We cut from it and then created a successful independent plant that's growing flowers. I would say that's a success. But we realized the water is a lot of maintenance because you have to constantly clean out the pot because the roots get stuck in the spout, the water spouts. And then not only that, they take up a lot of water. I mean, this is about the same. We're still gonna have to water it probably daily, but at least with this, it's contained in its own pot. Oh, this is also an experimentation that David's doing. We had some sweet potatoes that started growing spuds. So this is only like after a week, it already grew all these leaves. So that's pretty cool. Oh, and then the roots underneath are cool too. Yeah, so that's cool. So that's our most recent installment experimentation using this grow light to now grow. So this was time, or it is time basil, tomato, sweet potato. They're all benefiting from the lights from all three of these arrow gardens. Eventually, this bench we can actually use as a bench because we plan to use this. I thrifted, we're thinking it's mahogany or something, a real wood. It's a very nicely made piece. We want to build it out so that it's more of like a credenza, and then we'll put all of our arrow garden experimentations on this. It's gonna probably be a credenza that spans most of this wall. So we did that. I repotted this thing because, so from the different vlog, if y'all remember, there was a bunch of ants that were coming out of this door frame. So then I caulked that, but then now they're just coming through like where this weather stripping is. Our weather strip is kind of like thin. I think it's kind of deteriorating or flattening over the years, so we should probably replace that, another to-do list. But they're just coming through the hole, just so blatant like that. Not even trying to be discreet. They're walking through. And then this is probably the closest, because they're trying to find water at the end of the day because it's just been so hot outside. So this is their closest stop to finding water. So David, the other day when he was watering this, found a bunch of ant eggs that were laid underneath this plate. We put the plate down here to capture any of the water overflow. So that warranted me to basically repot this whole ZZ plant. Oops. I also took out some of the dead ones, or the ones that were about to die. So the ones that like either had like yellowing leaves or like the leaves on the bottom were dropping. It's just good practice to do that because then it leads way for other new growth to be uninhibited and more of the energy put into those new growths. Did that make sense? I hope that made sense. What else do we do? Okay, this was super, super impromptu. So these brackets we've had, it was one of the deconstructed IKEA tables that previous tenants had left. And I was about to just throw it away because I was so sick of seeing it, and it's just such an odd, awkward shape. I'm talking about these black brackets right here. Very awkward shape. We actually made use of the particle board. David used that for the workbench, for the tabletops. But yeah, these metal bracket plate things, or legs, were just so inconvenient to house in the garage. So I was about to throw it away, but then I was thinking, okay, we have this leftover granite from our kitchen. If y'all remember that, we took off this quarter that was along the wall, and then it's just been stored out here, just kind of being an eyesore over there. So today was a day that I was like, I want to do something with this. So I then thought to merge all these extra resources that we have and create kind of like it's not really like a potting table because it's too short to be a potting table. This granite top, the one that's on the first level, was from the backdrop of our hood vent. So that explains why that piece is so big. And then all these other scrap pieces were either pieces that we unsuccessfully took off in one go, so they broke or cracked. So the reason why there's two things here is because the second level piece that we want to span across is not long enough. So we just put these perpendicular pieces to hopefully have more surface area that any planter. So if I wanted to put these wooden planters over here on top of this, it could definitely work. So that's the idea with that. That was literally like so impromptu, probably did that in 30 minutes. Well, I guess I can just show some new updates that we have around the house. So this is a ponytail palm, I think it's called. Let me move this out of the way. So this one we got at a local nursery. David's parents actually bought this for us, both the planter and the ponytail palm, because they have a ponytail palm in their house that's like 20 years old, and every time we visit I just stare at it and admire it because it's just so curly. This bulb on the bottom will eventually get very wide, so I'll probably have to change it out of this pot. And then it gets very tall, and then the hairs of the ponytail start to actually like curl It's pretty cool. So anyways, I specifically wanted this one because maybe I was being too greedy, but this had a baby already. So eventually I could separate them and basically get 2 plants out of one. So that's a new addition. We put, I don't know if I showed this, but we put the pothos cuttings in this fish. Can you guys tell it's a fish? So this was David's hand build when we went to a ceramics class in Taiwan. This is our prayer plant. My friend Tanya gave me a cutting and it like almost immediately grew.
Yeah. Known as a prayer plant.
Yeah, prayer plant. And it's gorgeous. It is so beautiful and it's very low maintenance. Tanya was telling me that you can keep it in like humid or hotter environments, like even your restroom, because of like the shower humidity. And it doesn't need that much sun. And so that's why we have it over on this table as opposed to on this shelf area, which is where our plants get the most sun. So that's why it's here, and it's been really thriving over here. Throughout the weeks or months, really, we accumulate a lot of these like minor to-do list items around the house that are probably like lower priority or are things that could just be done at any point. There's no like, not a time sensitive task. I noticed something that we do is we accumulate a to-do list long enough. Not saying we have a definitive, like once we hit 12 items, we start doing the to-do list items, but we basically accumulate this to-do list long enough that when we carve out a day to do it, it's done so much more efficiently than as if we were to like do the to-do list items as we go, like as we notice it. Because I feel like it's the psychology of it to do those tasks, but do it like back to back to back, because I think it's all about a momentum thing. It's all about, you don't want to lose steam. Look at those turtles. More amigos.
These are the pawns.
Wow, look at this, it's healthy. Got one more hand.
Yeah.
So if any of my viewers were interested in any piece that I mentioned, y'all will get a special offer using my discount code Catherine Lay. And there's also going to be a link down in my description that links all the pieces that I've ever mentioned in this video or previous videos with Linjer. So if you wanted to shop the pieces that I'm wearing and we can be twinsies, that would be really fun. So thank you so much, Linjer. I love Linjer. I love you guys. Bye.